Our verse today is Acts chapter 15, verse 10. Now therefore, why are you putting God to the test by placing a yoke on the neck of the disciples that neither our fathers nor we have been able to bear? Yesterday we examined Acts chapter 1 verse 15 and highlighted that circumcision was not required of the Gentile converts because it was a law made specifically for the people of Israel, and that the Ten Commandments were the universal laws by which every human being must live. Due to the demand by the Jewish Christians that the converts be circumcised as the issue unsettled the community appointed Paul and Barnabas to go up to Jerusalem to table the issue before the apostles and elders of the church. Our verse today contains one of the lines of arguments of Paul and Barnabas. Let us break the verse into parts. First, why are you putting God to the test? What does it mean to put God to the test? We have similar expressions in Exodus chapter 17 verse 2 and Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 16, where the meaning is connected with going against what God has revealed to see if God would bring the deserved punishment. The best way to understand putting God to the test here would be provoking God's anger or making God angry over what he has already revealed, or asking God for further proof of his will. When Peter speaks, he will give his own testimony of how God revealed to him not to call profane what he has created. Read Acts chapter 15 verse 14 and see Acts chapter 10 verse 9 to 23, the story of Cornelius. Second, why place a yoke on the neck of the disciples? Zygos, which is strictly a crossbar in Greek, or crossbeam, is translated as a yoke or burden, but figuratively it means strict requirements or heavy obligations. So Paul and Barnabas questioned the rationale of putting heavy burdens on these new converts. And finally, why place a yoke that neither our fathers nor we have been able to bear? Why cause them unnecessary difficulty and pain after accepting the gospel? Why place these strict regulations on the new converts, which they, being Jews and their forefathers, have been unable to observe? In other words, even observing the law of circumcision had been difficult for the Jewish people. Read Joshua chapter 5, how the Israelites had not been circumcised for many years until God commanded Joshua to circumcise them when they got into the promised land. If it has been difficult for those who were given the law, why impose it on other people? That is what Paul and Barnabas are saying. There is a great lesson for us today. It is easy to tell other people what to do, even when we know how difficult it is for us. Preaching is different from living the life. We may know the Bible theoretically, but what God requires of us is to put it into practice, to live out the gospel in our lives. We shouldn't be hard on people who are unable to keep some laws, because we too fall short of some other laws. Laws are important to guide us. The commandments are important for our lives, but they are meant to be internalized, not to be simply quoted out of the knowledge we have for them. Lord, give us the grace to live out your commandments and not expect of others what we cannot do ourselves. Amen. God bless you, and I wish you a lovely day.